I'd like to invite Terri Dentry, the director and founder of ThinkRed, to introduce two case studies. Is that right, Terri?
Real case studies.
Real case studies. So over to Terri Dentry. Thank you.
Now I know what I'm going to do different to these two guys. The whole lunchtime talk was like, okay, we all got kind of feel the same and talk the same and have come from similar backgrounds. And because I'm going to do it differently, I've actually gone to PowerPoint because this is an old-fashioned kind of way of showing something real. ThinkRed is a software development company. I am not a developer. Do not ask me any technical questions. That's why you've got these guys here. What I do is the business wrapper application, the design and the concept and the build, and then I've got people that are really clever like this who can actually make it happen. So what I'm going to talk to you about is actually what we do and what we're trying to do with Facebook and why we're playing with Facebook. ThinkRed's built a whole bunch of community sites, community portals, both for commercial application and for business districts and community groups who want to have a portal online where they all kind of come together and do something together, not just a website that pushes out some information to them. I sort of have a background too in the .com area, so did lots and lots of e-commerce transaction sites, worked in lots of different industries, tried to solve lots of different problems online where people are trying to do something together in one spot. And so a lot of our applications are that. There's a whole range of them, and I'm happy to talk to anyone about lots of different types of ones that we're doing. What happened though, we actually created a dating site for a client about 2 years ago. And when we created this dating site, obviously there are lots of dating sites out there. And what we needed to do was actually find a point of difference for this particular dating site. And what I did was, all my programmers, I made them go and get accounts on all the current dating sites at the time. And I found myself coming into the office and they were all playing on dating sites. And what they had to do was find out what worked, what didn't work, what they liked, what they didn't like, and work out what we were going to make different about this particular dating site. It's actually called Traveller's Meeting Point. You can go into it online. And it's a dating site for people who are travelling to another country for a couple of days and they want to meet up with someone who's there. You know, it's a very typical dating site, but it's got a point of difference, and we needed to make a lot of the current tools. We had to use tools that already worked, and then we had to find some that were even better and, you know, had a little bit more zing than the others, and it's working. It's actually finding its own audience and it's doing really well. With clients like that, and that was someone who came to me and said, I want to create this dating site, what do you think? And I went, you know, let's see how it goes. I've got those kind of clients that come to me all the time and sort of say, what do you think about creating this kind of stuff? What I found was, 1 week, I had 4 of my clients come to me and say, I want to create a Facebook app, what do you think? And I went, really? What would you want to do that for? Oh, okay. But, you know, with the opening up of the API and stuff, of course, people are now saying, what could I do with Facebook? Everyone's seen the fact that Facebook's got all this success going for it, that making all this money, obviously people are doing lots of things, all that stuff is happening. So, you know, business is starting to say, we've got to be doing something on Facebook. They're telling us we should be doing something on Facebook, let's do something. What I wanted to show you today is 2 interesting case studies that we are developing with our clients, and they're actually taking it a little bit past the current framework of Facebook. So what I want to talk about is what these have got different to the current apps that you see on Facebook every day. And I do use Facebook, but you know, never mind. I don't every day. Okay, so the first one is, maybe we'll just talk about it for a second, what you have to think about when you are designing a business application for Facebook. There is a framework in place. You're stuck with that. You have to work inside the Facebook application and framework that's already been developed, the logic that's already been developed. So people know how to come into Facebook, what to do, what to expect when they get there. And whatever you build's got to fit into that logic. You can't go outside that logic. It just doesn't work. The appearance has to look like a Facebook app. Otherwise, it's not going to work either. And they've got a very defined structure. Obviously, they're serving the pages up into their sector. You've got to follow that. Otherwise, go do it somewhere else. If you want to not build something that looks like a Facebook app, go and build it somewhere else, because you have to look like a Facebook app if you're going to build it here. The other important thing about building inside Facebook, and this is kind of leans on a lot of stuff that's already been said, is that the people who do use Facebook have 3 different types of ways that they use it. One is that they talk to their very close friends, people that they want to share some information with one-on-one. The people in their personal profiles that they send stuff to every day, they're their close friends. There's a certain type of application they're going to share with those people. They're not going to share, they're going to share some stuff, they're not going to share some other stuff. Cutesy stuff works here, big broad stuff doesn't. They're not going to share brands with each other at that level, but they'll share cute stuff that actually has the, they want, you know, something that you'd sit down with your friend and recommend. That's what you'd share at that level. Shared groups is where you join a group, like we've all joined, hopefully, the Facebook Garage group on Facebook. If you've joined the Facebook Garage group on Facebook, you don't know everybody in the room. So you're not going to send something cutesy to that group. You're not going to share something cutesy with that group. You're going to share something broader or something that's got something to do with the whole group. So if you're designing an app that's got, you know, that kind of appeal, you've got to think about where this app is going to be shared and what level they're going to share it at. Extended networks just go outside again. So they're people that you probably don't even know you've got something in common with. You just know that you're supposed to have something in common with those people. So when you are designing an app, think about where it's going to be shared and who's going to use it and how they're going to send it to each other, because that makes a big difference to what you're designing. Tree exchange, those virtual gifts that David alluded to. This is a virtual gift, except that you do pay $1 for it. You know what? You get a real tree. You don't get a little pixel tree. Well, actually, you do get a little pixel tree. You get the little pixel tree as well. You also get a real tree planted for you in the real world. And this is what we're playing with. Will that actually work? Will it actually work? Will people actually pay for something that they're actually going to virtually get in the real world? And you'll be able to go to a website and see the real trees that get planted in the real world, where they come from, where they're being planted, why they're being planted there. You can choose, obviously, where you want to plant them. So that's kind of the premise of the app. Real world planting, carbon offset calculator, you get something back. You give a tree to someone, you pay $1 for it. The application tells you how much carbon offset you've generated by doing that, and it grows. So the more trees you give out, the more you're winning in your own sort of little social thing. It's a commercial venture. It's actually making money. It doesn't cost $1 to plant a tree. So it does cost some money, but it doesn't cost $1. So obviously the client that I have is actually Italian. The client that I have that's creating this is intending to make money from it. I was hoping to. That's why we're playing with it. Looks like a Facebook app. That's why I've got the pictures. Looks like a Facebook app. It sits there like a little tree. You choose it from applications, the same as anybody else. When you go through the actual application, you purchase one. You can choose how to pay for it, obviously on a credit card or through Payway, depending which country you're in. You're going to get a little tree plantation. You can send your friend 1 tree, 3 trees. Their trees will grow online. They'll actually see their little thing grow. And they'll also have their own carbon calculator, that offset calculator that tells them how much their friends love them by planting all these trees for them and what it's done for them. So this is a really typical virtual gift Facebook app that's got that one step further. It's got a real tree.